They're whispering your name now, chosen one. The same streets that once ignored your existence can't stop talking about you. The same mouths that once mocked you now mention you in awe, confusion, or quiet jealousy. Something has shifted the energy, the atmosphere, even the silence feels different. What's going down right now isn't chaos, it's divine order. Allah has started revealing what He's been building in you all along. You've entered the phase where your obedience speaks louder than their opinions. People don't even understand why they can't stop watching you, but spiritually, they can feel it. The unseen hand of Allah is at work, moving you from hidden to highlighted, from tested to trusted. Every eye is on you, but not because you wanted it, it's because Allah willed it. This is your luku, the moment where destiny becomes visible. So listen closely, because in this video we're diving deep into 7 powerful lessons that explain why the whole town is talking, why everything is suddenly moving, and why this moment right here is your divine turning point. There was a time when they couldn't say your name without rolling their eyes or laughing behind your back. They mocked your struggles, your silence, your isolation. They said you'd never make it, never rise, never be remembered. But what they didn't know was that Allah was watching every moment and He was recording every word. You see, Allah doesn't expose you to humiliation to destroy you. He allows it so that when He raises you, the same people who ridiculed you become witnesses of His power. Those same tongues that once spread poison are now spreading your name, not out of love, but out of shock and awe. They can't understand how you're still standing after everything that was meant to break you. But what they fail to realize is that you were never standing alone. Allah was your unseen strength all along. When He decides to elevate a servant, He doesn't need approval from the crowd. He uses the crowd to announce what heaven already confirmed. The Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was once the topic of gossip, a slave, accused, forgotten in prison. But when the time came, Allah flipped the script. The same society that whispered his downfall now called him the Trusted One. That's what's happening with you, chosen one. The rumors that were designed to bury your reputation became the very tool Allah used to broadcast your rise. Because when Allah wants your story told, He'll use your enemies as your narrators. They'll talk, they'll question, they'll gossip, but every word will serve His purpose. And the irony? You won't even have to defend yourself. Your silence will echo louder than their noise, and your success will speak every truth they tried to silence. So don't be bitter when your name is on their tongues. Be grateful. Every mention is a reminder that Allah has flipped the energy in your favor. What they meant for humiliation, He turned into elevation. The same mouths that cursed you are now testifying that they were wrong. This is divine justice at its finest, not through revenge, but revelation. Because Allah promised. Indeed, Allah defends those who have believed. Surah Al-Hajj 22:38. And now, chosen one, that defense is visible. You are no longer the subject of their ridicule, you are the evidence of Allah's glory. Wherever you go, the way you move without seeking validation, the quiet confidence that speaks of someone who walks with Allah, that's what unsettles them, because they can't explain you, and what can't be explained, the world often chooses to fear. You're not ordinary, chosen one. You carry an unseen power, the presence of divine favor. You've been through storms that should have shattered you, yet you emerged more grounded, more radiant, more unshaken, and that confuses them. They wonder, how are they still glowing after everything they've faced? But the answer is simple, because Allah is your anchor, and when you're anchored in Him, no wind of hatred or jealousy can move you. When a soul is connected to Allah, its energy becomes different, purer, heavier, magnetic. Your light exposes their shadows without you even speaking. You remind them of what they could have been if they chose righteousness instead of ego. That's why your presence irritates the unhealed. You don't need to correct them. Your existence already convicts them. Just as Pharaoh feared Musa, peace be upon him, not because of armies, but because truth walked in with him, your mere presence represents everything falsehood despises. You carry a frequency that doesn't bend to trends, doesn't conform to noise, and that's threatening to those who worship attention. But here's the secret. Their fear is your confirmation. It means your light is real. It means your connection to Allah is visible. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out by standing firm. So don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Every glare, every whisper, every distance they create is proof that your spirit is operating on a higher level. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was misunderstood, mocked, and feared by those who couldn't comprehend his purity, and yet his message outlived them all. You are walking that same legacy in your own way. Let them talk, let them stare. They don't need to understand you, they just need to witness you. Because your presence alone is dawah, your peace is proof, and your faith is fire to every false soul around you. When the noise starts rising, when people begin whispering, talking, watching, speculating, that's when you must understand, chosen one, something spiritual has shifted. The world doesn't talk when you're hidden, but when heaven starts unveiling your purpose, the echo becomes impossible to contain. The gossip, the stares, the sudden attention, it's not random, it's spiritual turbulence. It's the earth reacting to a soul that's changing dimensions. You've been in the shadows for years, quietly healing, silently praying, preparing, and enduring. You didn't ask for the spotlight, but when Allah begins to elevate someone, visibility becomes part of the test. The noise isn't there to scare you, it's there to announce that the veil has been lifted. Allah is showing the world what He's been building in secret. Every whisper about you, every rumor that spreads, every conversation that suddenly revolves around your name. These are divine indicators that your transition is complete. You see, when you were hidden, you were being developed, refined, and tested. Allah was shaping your soul in silence because destiny cannot be born in public. The Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was hidden in a well, then in prison, forgotten, silenced, unseen. But when the noise began around the king's dream, that's when the shift took place. His name was suddenly mentioned in the palace. The same world that ignored him now searched for him. That's what's happening with you. The sudden noise isn't chaos, it's divine orchestration. It means your name has reached realms where your feet haven't yet stepped. It means doors are opening that you didn't even knock on. The town is buzzing because your time has finally arrived. And the spiritual world knows it before the physical one catches up. Understand this. Every time Allah moves you into a higher stage of purpose, He stirs up attention. It's not to inflate your ego, but to prepare you for influence. Because how can Allah use you to reach hearts if no one notices you? The noise becomes your signal flare. It draws eyes and ears toward you so that when you speak truth, people listen. It's how Allah positions His chosen servants. He allows rumors, reactions, and discussions to circle around you until curiosity pulls people closer, and then, through you, they encounter His message. You were never meant to hide forever. Allah concealed you to strengthen your foundation, but when the structure became unshakable, He uncovered it for all to see. The noise can feel overwhelming, yes. You may wonder, why is everyone suddenly watching me? Why do I feel like I'm being observed from every direction? But remember, attention doesn't always mean attack. Sometimes it's heaven making an announcement through human mouths. This is the one I prepared. When Allah raises a believer, He allows both supporters and enemies to witness it so that neither can deny it. The same people who doubted you now can't stop talking about you. Some are curious, some are jealous, some are confused, but all are watching. That's divine strategy. Allah uses their noise to spread your story, to make your light impossible to ignore. Think of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Before revelation, he was known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy. He was respected, but unnoticed by many. But when the message of truth came, suddenly all of Makkah was talking. Some praised him, others plotted against him. The town was divided not because he changed, but because the truth he carried disturbed the false peace they lived in. The noise around you is the same, a reflection that your spiritual vibration has disrupted stagnant energies. Your rise is unsettling systems that thrived on your silence. The ones who tried to bury your name are now forced to mention it. The ones who laughed at your downfall now watch in disbelief as Allah resurrects your story. And here's the secret that only the wise understand. Noise only surrounds movement. Stagnant things are silent, but moving things create sound. The reason you hear so much chatter is because you've started moving spiritually. You're no longer in the waiting phase, you're in the unveiling phase. Allah's hand is repositioning you, shifting you from local obscurity to divine recognition. Every vibration of gossip, every tremor of attention, is proof that your destiny has entered its visible stage. Don't let it scare you, let it confirm you. So, chosen one, when you feel the atmosphere buzzing, when you sense the world suddenly noticing your glow, don't run from it. Don't shrink back into hiding out of fear or humility. Stand tall in gratitude, not arrogance. You are not the source of the noise, Allah is. He is the one who turned their eyes toward you, not because you need their validation, but because your story is about to serve as a mirror for them. They're talking because your life is preaching without words. They're watching because your patience is now paying off publicly. And while they make noise in confusion, heaven whispers to you in peace. This is your moment. I told you they would see. So, let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them wonder. Because the noise is not an interruption, it's an announcement. It's heaven's way of saying, the shift has begun. And from this point on, nothing will ever be the same. You are living proof that humility is not weakness. It's a weapon of divine strength. In a world obsessed with appearances, competition, and self-promotion, you chose to bow when others stood tall in arrogance. You stayed silent when provoked, patient when wronged, forgiving when slandered. You refused to fight for recognition because your heart trusted that Allah sees what the world overlooks. And now, after seasons of quiet obedience and hidden sacrifice, Allah Himself is making you visible. You are being lifted, not because you shouted louder than others, but because you bowed deeper in submission. The Quran reminds us, and whoever humbles himself before Allah, He will raise him high. Surah Al-Hajj 22:38. That verse is no longer just words. It's your life unfolding in real time. Allah is using you as a living demonstration that His promise is true, that He still exalts the humble. Think back to every time you were ignored while others were celebrated, every project you worked on where someone else took the credit, every act of kindness that went unseen, every tear you cried in sujood while no one cared, every moment you wanted to defend yourself but chose silence for the sake of Allah. None of it went unnoticed. You may have thought no one was watching, but the Lord of the worlds was documenting every second. And now, He's revealing to the world what He already knew about you, that your sincerity was real, that your intentions were pure, that your humility wasn't weakness, it was the seed of your elevation. When you refused to compete in the race for attention, Allah placed you on a track of divine timing, and now you've crossed the finish line while the arrogant are still running in circles. This is how Allah works. He flips the order of the world. He chooses the soft-spoken over the loud, the patient over the prideful, the overlooked over the overconfident. Look at the story of Dawood, peace be upon him. When the prophet Samuel came to anoint the next king of Israel, everyone expected one of Dawood's tall, strong brothers to be chosen. But Allah told the prophet not to look at appearances, for Allah does not look at your forms or wealth, but at your hearts and your deeds. Dawood was a shepherd, humble, quiet, serving in the background. Yet Allah saw in him a heart that was sincere. and he raised him from the fields to the throne. That's the same spiritual pattern you're walking in. You were hidden in the fields of obscurity, while others paraded in palaces of attention. But Allah never forgot your service. The same hands that tended sheep will now hold crowns, not because of ambition, but because of alignment. People often mistake your calmness for weakness, your silence for ignorance, your kindness for naivety. But the chosen ones are never loud about their greatness. They let their actions echo what their hearts quietly believe. Your humility has protected you from spiritual corruption. Pride blinds, but humility clears the vision. The reason you can still feel Allah so closely while others chase after worldly recognition is because your heart never left servitude. You never lost that childlike awe when you raised your hands in dua. You never let pain turn you bitter or success turn you proud. You remained grounded while others floated on their ego, and that's exactly why Allah is raising you now. When Allah elevates a humble soul, He does it in such a way that no one can deny it. It's not a forced rise, it's a natural unveiling. People begin to notice you without knowing why. Your name starts being mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Hearts that once ignored you begin to respect you. You become a reflection of divine grace, a mirror through which others can see Allah's mercy in motion. Your rise doesn't provoke envy in the pure-hearted. It inspires awe, because they see that Allah still honors sincerity, still rewards patience, still exalts those who never sought to exalt themselves. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the ultimate example. Despite being chosen as the greatest man in history, he lived as a servant of Allah, mending his own clothes, sitting with the poor, never exalting himself above others. His humility was his power. His servitude was his crown. That's the model you're being shaped after. Allah is showing through your life that true greatness doesn't come from force, but from surrender. It's not earned by pride, it's gifted by grace. So as you rise, chosen one, remember your elevation is not about fame, it's about faithfulness. It's not about being seen, but about showing others what submission truly looks like. You are a reminder that Allah still raises those who bow, still honors those who stay small in their own eyes, and still crowns those who kept their head down while everyone else lifted theirs high. The world may talk about you now, but you know in your heart it was never you who did this. It was Allah. You are simply the living proof that His word still stands. Whoever humbles themselves for the sake of Allah, Allah will raise them high. When Allah decides to honor a soul, the shift doesn't happen in silence. The air itself begins to change. Conversations start to revolve around you, not because you forced yourself into relevance, but because Allah placed your name in the hearts of people who once never thought of you. You start to notice that even those who never liked you can't stop talking about you. It's not coincidence, it's divine decree. When Allah elevates His servant, He makes it known. He said in the Quran, "Indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds, the Most Merciful will appoint for them affection." Surah Maryam 19-96. That means hearts will be drawn to you without reason, tongues will mention you without intent, and eyes will notice you without understanding why. That's the unseen ripple effect of divine honor. It spreads like fragrance in the air. You don't see where it begins or ends, but everyone around can feel it. The Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, experienced this in the most miraculous way. One day he was a forgotten prisoner. The next, the entire kingdom was speaking his name. No messenger was needed. No campaign was launched. Allah Himself made it happen. The very people who once looked down upon him were now seeking his wisdom, consulting his insight, and honoring his presence. That's what divine favor does. It reverses perception without your involvement. You could be hidden for years, working quietly, serving faithfully, praying consistently, and then suddenly, overnight, Allah turns the town toward you. You become the talk of the community, not because you sought attention, but because Allah's light within you became too radiant to ignore. When Allah honors you, it's not just about blessings, it's about transformation. People begin to feel something different when you walk into a room. The atmosphere shifts. Those who used to dismiss you now lower their tone when they speak your name. Not out of fear of you, but out of awe for the unseen hand that's clearly guiding you. They sense that you've been touched by something higher, that your presence carries the tranquility of someone walking with divine backing. It's not charisma, it's qadr. It's not popularity, it's proximity to Allah. Your rise becomes a living sermon, reminding people that no one remains forgotten when Allah decides to remember them. But with honor comes a spiritual responsibility. When Allah begins to make your presence felt across hearts and places, it's not an invitation to pride, it's a test of purity. Because the same hearts that love you today could be turned tomorrow, and only Allah controls that. You must remain the same humble soul you were when no one noticed you. Never mistake the spotlight as your doing. It's Allah shining through you to show others what sincerity looks like when it's rewarded. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was honored more than any human in history. His name is echoed in every adhan, every prayer, every corner of the earth. Yet he lived as a servant, not a king. He taught us that true honor doesn't demand to be seen. It simply radiates naturally because Allah placed it there. When Allah honors you, the whole town feels it not just physically, but spiritually. Some feel it as love, others as discomfort. The righteous will be drawn to you because their hearts recognize light. The envious will be disturbed because your existence exposes their darkness. You'll notice doors open effortlessly, opportunities align, and people suddenly speak in your favor without you asking. That's not luck, that's Allah's rahmah unfolding publicly. Even the ones who tried to harm you will feel an invisible pressure, because the same world that once seemed against you is now commanded to honor you. It's divine justice rearranging the atmosphere. Sometimes the entire town shifts just because Allah decided to make one person His example. You are that example. Your elevation is not only your reward, it's a reminder to everyone watching that Allah is still in control, that He still honors the patient, still exalts the unseen, still brings the sincere from the background to the forefront. You are that story they needed to see to renew their own faith. You're proof that Allah doesn't forget those who quietly serve Him. The same people who once doubted your worth now quote your words, admire your strength, or secretly study your peace because whether they admit it or not, they can feel it. If something divine is happening around you. So walk with grace, chosen one. You don't have to announce what Allah has already revealed. You don't have to justify what heaven has already confirmed. When Allah honors you, He shifts the energy of the entire environment. Every sound, every conversation, every soul begins to move in alignment with His decree. You've become the center of divine demonstration, a walking reminder that Allah is still the best of planners. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Because every whisper, every glance, every mention is proof that your honor didn't come from man. It came from the King Himself. And when the King honors you, the whole town feels it. When the spotlight finally turns toward you, chosen one, it's not just a celebration, it's an examination. The world may see your glow and your growth, but Allah sees your heart beneath it. Fame, attention, and recognition can be blessings or traps, depending on how you carry them. The moment Allah elevates you, Shaitan whispers louder, tempting you with pride, arrogance, and ego. But remember, what brought you here was not your perfection. It was your perseverance through humility. You were chosen not because you wanted the stage, but because you were faithful when no one was watching. Now that the eyes of many are on you, the test is no longer in the shadows. It's in how you handle the light. The Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was thrown into a well, betrayed by his brothers, and imprisoned unjustly. Yet when Allah raised him to power, he never forgot his place as a servant of the Most High. That is the mark of a true chosen one, the ability to stay grounded even when the world tries to crown you. The higher you rise, the more dangerous pride becomes, because ego can destroy in seconds what sincerity built over years. So guard your heart like a fortress, remembering that this spotlight doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Allah. Use your visibility to remind others of His greatness, not your own. Speak truth even when it's unpopular. Stay kind even when they provoke you. Be generous even when they gossip. Because the real proof of being chosen is not how you shine, it's how you serve while shining. And when you pass this test, Allah will not just make your name known, He'll make it respected, because He knows your fame didn't corrupt your faith. Random. It's divine orchestration. It was written long before you even took your first breath. Every word being spoken about you, every eye watching, every event unfolding. It's all a continuation of a story Allah authored long ago. You see, people think they're the ones making things happen, that their actions or gossip hold power. But the truth is, they're only acting out their roles in a divine script that was decreed before time began. What's going down now is simply destiny revealing itself in real time. It's the manifestation of Qadr, the divine decree that Allah wrote for you when you were still in your mother's womb. Nothing is coincidence. Nothing is accidental. Every betrayal was written so that you'd outgrow the places that could no longer contain you. Every humiliation was scripted to purify your heart from needing validation. Every delay, rejection, and misunderstanding was planted in your story to prepare you for this very moment. The world might just be realizing your worth, but Allah saw it from the start. This talk of the town, energy, the noise, the rumors, the sudden attention, is only the unveiling of what was already settled in the heavens. When Allah decrees something for you, the entire creation moves to make it happen, whether willingly or unwillingly. Even your enemies, unknowingly, become tools for your elevation. Remember how the brothers of Yusuf, peace be upon him, plotted against him. They thought they were destroying him, but their very scheme became the vehicle through which Allah raised him to royalty. The same is happening now. What looks like chaos is actually order in disguise. What feels like conflict is actually completion. You're stepping into a season where Allah is showing you that your story was never random, it was sacred. So, don't be surprised when things start aligning in ways you never planned. Don't be overwhelmed by how fast everything is shifting. This is not new, it's ancient. It's a replay of what was written in your Law al-Mahfuz, the preserved tablet, before time existed. You're simply walking into the chapter that was always meant to come. The people around you may act like it's sudden, like you just blew up, like things are going down fast. But Allah has been building this moment through every tear, every night of prayer, every unseen act of faith. This is your divine unveiling. This is destiny unfolding in public. So walk with peace in your chest. Don't fear the noise, embrace the divine rhythm in it. You're not reacting to life, you're fulfilling prophecy. Every rise comes with noise, and every chosen one's story must echo through the earth, because that's how Allah reminds the world that He still chooses, still raises, and still honors those who stayed faithful when no one was watching. Let them talk, they're just narrating what Allah already wrote. And when the dust settles, the truth will remain. What's going down isn't drama, it's divine decree. So here it is. Chosen one, the moment you've been living for, the energy that's been building around you, the whispers that suddenly feel like thunder. The town is talking, the eyes are watching, the stories are spreading, but none of it is chaos. It's Allah making His presence known through you. What people see as coincidence, confusion, or luck is actually divine orchestration, unfolding exactly as He planned long before you arrived. You've walked through silence, endured trials, remained patient when ignored, and now the world is witnessing what Allah has always known, that you are chosen, you are protected, and you are elevated. Remember this: their attention, their chatter, their admiration, even their envy, does not define you. What defines you is your connection to Allah, your faith, your humility, and your steadfastness. You didn't seek this recognition. You were molded quietly, patiently, and faithfully. And now, that hidden work is becoming visible, undeniable, and unstoppable. The whispers of yesterday are becoming the proof of your elevation today. Every eye on you is a witness to what Allah has done in your life. Walk forward with confidence, chosen one. Stay humble, stay sincere, and never forget that every blessing, every rise, every acknowledgement is from Him alone. Let the world talk. It's just the echo of divine confirmation. You are not only being honored, but you are becoming a reminder to everyone that Allah still chooses, still raises, and still elevates those who trust Him in the shadows. Your story is unfolding. Your moment is here. And what's happening now, this divine recognition, this shift, this luku, is only the beginning of the greatness Allah has prepared for you. So lift your head, chosen one. The town is talking, but your heart is at peace. What's happening is not just for you, it's a message, a proof, a revelation. And remember, when Allah honors His servant, the whole world feels it, even if they don't yet understand it. Stay faithful, stay humble, and let your rise speak louder than their words ever could. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your luku.